Welcome to HAVAN's Finance Masterclass. In this series, we will explore the importance of finding a mortgage strategy that is right for you and walk you through the home buying process. We'll review the market and the different types of interest rates. We will also discuss the strategies for the bank of mom and dad, and we will cover what happens when it's time for renewal. I am Alisa Aragon-Lloyd, and I'm excited to offer you some personal insight and finding the mortgage that is right for you. How I got here? I drove. I'm kidding. My whole career has been in real estate. I have spent over 27 years working in the real estate industry. And I started my career by working with developers such as Polygon, Lettingham McAllister, the Quick Group, Pinnacle, Solterra, and a property management company. And I did that for 14 years. Before starting my own business, which I do, now I have my mortgage license, and I've been doing this for 12 years as a financing expert. So again, my whole career has been in real estate, and the advice that I give my clients is very different because of that, because I have been in real estate throughout my entire career. So how did I get into real estate? Well, I was working for a developer and I decided to buy my first condo. I didn't know any better, just like, well, I need to get financing. So I knew this mortgage specialist from a bank that I had met through working with developers, and I called him up and I said, I'm buying my new condo. So he's like, no problem, send me all the documents. And I'll get you approved for your mortgage. And I'm like, awesome. So I sent him all the documents. When I got the information back, I noticed that there was mistakes on it. So I said, no, I'm putting actually this much down payment. So he revised the documents, and I actually never ended up meeting him. Everything was done through online. Then I have to go to the branch to sign the official mortgage documents with the branch. And I remember my common law and I going at that time, and nothing was really explained to me. It was just more like sign here, sign there, and all the stuff. It was a whirlwind. And then I'm like, okay. So I just signed where I needed to sign. And I was just more excited about, getting into my condo and my first home. And so everything was done. We got the keys and we moved into our condo. So that was really exciting. However, as we lived in the condo for about 3.5 years, and then my common law and I decided to sell the condo and buy a house. So that's what we did. At that time, it was really interesting because we bought the house and I actually became a mortgage expert. So I went to get my license, my mortgage license, and so I had to study and pass the test. I went to the Sauder School of Business in UBC and studied for my exam, passed the exam, and had to do some other requirements, and I got my mortgage license. So at that time, as a mortgage expert, you're able to work with multiple lenders. So I work with banks, credit unions, and other lenders that only work with brokers. They're called monolenders. So at that point, when we're looking at financing for a mortgage for the house, we had a lot more options than it was just originally just the bank, one of the major banks. But when we're looking at the mortgage documents and the payout statement, because we were paying out the mortgage with the condo, we ended up getting hit with a huge penalty. And that was never explained to me. And that actually really asked a lot of questions. And I'm like, well, I was so excited about buying our first condo and now our house. Nobody explained the whole process to me or what it really meant going through the commitment letter. And it's like, what does this really mean, right? So it was actually a very interesting experience for me because now with what I do and how I work with my clients, it's really about explaining the process and guiding them through the process, because it's a big decision, whether you're a first-time buyer or this is your second or third or fifth mortgage. Every time's a little bit different, but it's really about understanding it and not you being an expert, because you're an expert on your own field, but it's really about understanding it and why. So that really changed my approach on how I work with my clients. And that's really important. Whoever you work with, whether it's the bank or a broker or anybody else, just make sure you're comfortable and all your questions are being answered, not just go like, whoosh, everything went by and like, what was that about? So really ask the questions. And if you're not comfortable, it's okay to go somewhere else or seek the right questions. Make sure this is a major decision for you. So make sure you're comfortable through the whole process, and they're going to be there with you way after the mortgage gets funded, because questions do come up. So make sure you're happy with who you're working with and get them to earn your business. Don't just assume that that's the only option, because there's a lot more options for you.